Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. Didn't do video on camp this morning because we had someone else was there. Someone came in about 7:30. It was almost dark. A through hiker headed north. And I was surprised to find when I got up this morning, a hammock. So, there are, through hikers hammocking. So we have 2.7 miles to go from here to the Peabody Brook Trail, and it's supposed to take about 2 hours. It's 20 minutes of 8 now. It took about an hour and 15 minutes to get packed up, but we skipped a hot beverage. We didn't have tea or cocoa, and that probably accounts for most of that. I thought I was being really efficient, but when I looked at my watch at the end, it took almost the same time. I've been taking an hour and 15, an hour and a half. Anyway, another gorgeous day, about 50 this morning, so it was actually a little bit warmer, but my hands are still cold. Not numb, but cold. So, just about on time, 20 of 10, we had reached the intersection with a Peabody Brook Trail. Just past Dream Lake, which is gorgeous. There is a small, unofficial campsite there, right here near the junction. Good for one tent or one hammock, probably not both. So now we have a little over 2 miles to go. The trail guide and the sign disagree a little. And 1.7 miles, 1 hour and 17 minutes, there we go, to get to Gentian Pond and the campsite there. Well, it's about 10 of 11. I hadn't realized that the Gentian Pond Campsite is 0.2 of a mile down a side trail that way. Interesting that none of the carved signs indicate that, so they had to put up this temporary card. That doesn't seem like a good plan, but since we're doing well on time, we'll go check it out. So this is not the Gentian Pond shelter that I remember from 30 or 40 years ago. The shape of the shelter is different, and the location and view is definitely different. The other one I can recall was more of a standard shelter shape, design, and it was right next to the pond, or close by. This one, I don't know where the pond is. We probably haven't walked by it yet, I guess. And the view is out there, which is a nice view. There we go. But it's not a pond. So this shelter design seems to be the same as the Imp shelter, which is also new sometime in the last 30 or 40 years. These people, they just can't leave stuff alone. So it's all very pleasant. We'll spend a minute checking out the tent sites and maybe make a report on that and head on out. So I went up and looked at the tent sites. So there's a privy over here. There's a large tent site, or tent platform here. In the old days, that would have been there for a caretaker. I don't know if they still do that kind of thing. And there's 3 smaller platforms here in a pretty close pattern. None of these will really work for a hammock in my view. There's an overflow area that's kind of adjacent to the large platform that does look like it has some possibilities. Somebody's written in here something about finding more overflow if you continue down the Austin Brook Trail. I don't know what that's about. I didn't go down there. Well, we've had a look at this map. Let's take a look at the big map. So we spent the night at Trident Col, down that little short side trail, and then we came along over some ledges without much in the way of a view, and down to Dream Lake, and then, you know, not too stressful stroll. It was rocky and rooty, but there wasn't a lot of up and down. Down here to Gentian Pond. And we're going to continue up, and we're going to go up Mount Success. And then down another side trail to Carlo Col. And I guess they call things campsites here, even if they have shelters there. So there is a shelter. And also tenting and hopefully hammocking. Things are a little bit muddled here in the Gentian Pond area. The trail guide, the written trail guide, doesn't really correspond to what I've found here either. So, well, it's a bit of a muddle right here, but it's not like we're lost. So that's what we're doing today. So it's about 11:30 now, and we're back to that intersection, and we'll continue along on the Appalachian Trail. And in the trail guide, our next destination is the summit of Mount Success, which is just a little over 2.5 miles, and should take us 2.25 hours with an elevation gain of 1,410 feet. And there's a promise of views along the way, which we haven't had much of today. It's about 20 minutes of 2, and we're near the summit of Mount Success. I'm not quite sure, and I'm not confident I'll know for sure when we get there, or that it'll have views. So I'm filming this now. There's a couple people on the trail ahead of me, and I'll let them continue on while I babble to myself. So we, where? Oh, yeah, came up that way. That thing there is Bald Cap, which we did not go over, thank God. But we came from somewhere over that way. White's over there. I guess that's the presidentials. Carter Mariah's. Don't know. We seem to be clouding up a little, which is consistent with the forecast. I don't know if I mentioned. Kim sent me a satellite message, says rain tomorrow, 70% chance all day. So the actual summit of Mount Success is probably up there. That looks higher than here. And past there, we have a little bit further to go, a few minutes to get to some trail junction. So we'll check in there. So I'm at the Carlo Col Campsite, currently down by the stream getting water, being a camera shy. I arrived at pretty much exactly the same time as two guys who from their diction are from the south someplace. And I passed another couple somewhere between Mount Success and here, so they're probably headed here. Guy who was at Trident this morning, Mark trail name Irish, for reasons that were obvious as soon as he opened his mouth. I don't think ever passed me, so he may end up here. Although he showed up 7:30 last night, so apparently he's not averse to hiking well into the day. I got here first and quickly scurried around and did find a tent platform that has 2 trees that work for the hammock. So even though it's a large tent platform, it could handle 2 tents easily, I got greedy and I took it. So that's where I'm set up. There's also a shelter here, of course. So they've taken 2 platforms. There's another small platform left and another large platform. See how things go.